to increase your search ranking. It's our gift to you from Brick City Interactive. Call us today at 352-351-1131 or visit us online at brickcity.com.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
All right, 21 minutes after 11 o'clock. Nice looking day out there. I was looking at the information about the book we're going to talk about right now, and I just want to read this. It almost sounds like a movie trailer. Ready?
Yeah.
When Darren and Jody move into the house on the corner, they don't follow the rules. They blast music at all hours, begin an unsightly renovation, and run a used car business from their yard. It doesn't take long for an all-out war to start brewing. Then, early one Saturday, a horrific death shocks the street. As police search for witnesses, accusations start flying, and everyone has something to hide. The name of that book is called Those People. Great title, right? Those. That sounds like a Seinfeld, but those people down the road. You playing that music so loud, right?
Those people woke me up at 2 in the morning again.
Louise Candlish is the author of that book. She's a researcher. She worked as an editor in art publishing, and her book, again, Those People. It's a thriller novel. Good morning, Louise.
Hi there.
And where are you?
I'm in South London, not far away from the kind of streets featured in Those People, and it is not a nice day here. The sky is white.
Is that right? I can't picture those people living in London. It just sounds like it seems more like a ghetto place.
Well, you have to say it the way she would say it.
That's because of the way you read it. But
She has a...
no, they are in South London, but really bad neighbours can be found on every block.
No, you have to do it like she does. Those people.
Those people.
So, is it based on anything, or is it an experience you had, or is it just completely out of your imagination?
It's completely out of my imagination, but it draws on all kinds of stories I've heard, both from in real life and also read in newspapers about neighborhood disputes. And I've had some bad experiences myself, and I've been a bad neighbor myself, actually. When I was younger, I was a real party animal. So, there are probably people out there writing short stories about me.
Yeah, those people. Yeah.
No, but I pulled it all together and created a murder mystery out of it, because I was so aware in all of my research of how close people were coming to actually committing a crime and, killing someone over a neighborhood dispute. Things escalate very, very quickly from a discussion about parking to threats of murder.
Yeah. We feel like Superman when we're in our cars. We get the whole road rage anger thing while you're driving. I think it's because we feel like we're Superman. We yell at people even though we wouldn't do that if we were walking on the street. Like if Joe cut in front of me on the sidewalk, I'm not going to say, "You stupid idiot."
If I walked in front of you on the sidewalk.
Right.
And I'm the same. I mean, I experienced road rage, and in my previous release, Our House, the plot hinges on a road rage incident, actually. But it's because you're protected, and so you can express violent emotions.
But if you have a neighbor or a family of neighbors that are those people, as the book describes, then how do you talk to them? You can't, because you don't have that Superman protection around you.
You don't, and it's hugely frustrating. I mean, in the book, the neighbors who are united against the bad neighbors, they try and go through the official channels. They'll have a meeting, and then they'll discuss how best to put a stop to some of the behaviours that Darren and Jody, the bad neighbours, are up to. But it's a long and boring process with lots of red tape. Here in the UK, you do it through your local council. They might need 6 weeks' worth of diary sheets of,
Wow.
to prove that there has been noise pollution, for instance. It's not a simple case of calling the police and saying he's having a party. It's a long, drawn-out affair. And, he's running a business without the appropriate licenses. But, you can do that for quite a long time before anyone comes and puts a stop to it. So it's a hugely frustrating process, and that's why things escalate in the book, just as they do in real life.
Now, without doing a spoiler alert, someone does get murdered. Am I correct?
Yes. Well, there are 2 deaths
Oh,
But
well.
I don't think we'll say whether or not they're murders.
Okay, all right.
Oh,
There
okay.
are deaths. Two
Deaths,
people die. The police, you know from page 1, you know that the police are there, and this beautiful suburban street has turned into a crime scene. So the very first thing we hear are excerpts from door-to-door interviews with the neighbors.
Oh, really?
Because someone has been killed. Yeah.
Yeah, just so you know, we didn't receive the book. That's why we're kind of in the dark here. So it says everybody has something to hide. I'm assuming that means even the people who are holier than thou, they've got something to hide too, right?
They do. I mean, they have something to hide in terms of their own agendas. They're not hiding criminal activity, or perhaps not at first. But, they each have their own family stresses and relationship stresses. And the next-door neighbours, since you haven't seen the book, you won't know that the bad neighbours move into a semi-detached house. So there are these two identical houses next door. And they are next door to a lovely couple who have got a young baby. And so it's the worst-case scenario for them. They've, scrimped and saved for their first home.
Oh,
and they've
no.
moved to a beautiful street. And then this terrible pair of, Megadeth-loving car mechanics move in next door, and their baby can't sleep, and he has to wear special ear defenders. So yes, their agenda is obviously they're being sent mad by this behaviour. They're sleep deprived. They're absolutely racked with anxiety about their child's development, and with all the dust next door and all the noise. But then other characters, might have relationship issues. The lady who lives directly opposite is running a bed and breakfast, and without the income from that business, she can't afford to stay in her home. And so it's a disaster for her that people start, leaving reviews online that are very uncomplimentary because she's got these disastrous neighbours.
Okay, you're
So there's lots of agendas.
You're good at this because you're giving us teasers, but you're not telling us anything.
Right.
You must be a book writer or something. Yeah.
One
No coincidence. Yeah.
One of the reviews that is posted on Amazon says, Riley intelligent novel with sharp insights into human behavior. That's a pretty complimentary thing. That's a nice thing to say. You could have taken this and made it humorous. Are you tempted at all to have humor in it, or is there humor in it?
There is a lot of humour. Yeah, there is a lot of humour. It's British humour. It's sarcasm and it's irony.
I like it.
Oh my gosh.
It's not absurdist, sort of slapstick. But there are there's a lot of remarks being made that I think you could say were humorous.
Louise Candlish, thank you for taking time to be with us today. The book is called Those People. I found it on Amazon, and your website is your name, louisecandlish.com?
That's right.
Okay, Louise, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you for
We'll be right back.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. The House votes today on a resolution authorizing lawsuits against potential witnesses who defy subpoenas.